What's up, everybody? Rob here, back again with a very exciting video this time. War of the Spark is now live on Magic Arena, and it is brew time. And as always, if you know me, I'm kind of the resident Timmy on Multi 5. I'm a big fan of big, dumb beaters, particularly green ones. So obviously I'm playing a deck with Ghalta, but the card I'm most excited to be playing with is Ilharg the Raze-Boar. As soon as I saw this card spoiled in War of the Spark, I was insanely excited because not only is it a giant trampling pig that's ridiculous and awesome, but its text, basically when it attacks, you can kind of dash in any creature from your hand, which gives you some really cool stuff. So basically, this thing comes down. If you're lucky, you can give it haste with something like Domri's +1 or Rhythm of the Wild. And then when you attack, you can throw in something like a Ghalta for free, a Ravager Worm, kind of like a tech card, can kind of fight some stuff. It can destroy some lands. God Eternal Ronus, which is another new green beater, which is awesome. Basically, double the power of all of your creatures and just swing in and destroy your opponents, which is always fun. And always we kind of got some Gruul staples in Crawl Harpooner, Gruul Spellbreaker, Rekindling Phoenix, Collision Colossus, and also we got the new Domri, who has been pretty good so far. The +1 attack ability is pretty cool, and the just extra mana ramp is always a good time. And what else do we got in here? We got a couple Banefires to finish the job when you get close, and 2 Paradise Druid just as a little bit more ramp that doesn't die to shock. And also, if it comes out on turn 2 and you play Rebel Belt Riders, which is another fun new one, it can attack for 2 instead of like 1 off of a Land of War Elves. So there's a little bit of synergy there, and it's mostly just to not die to shock. So yeah, let's see how this dude does. So this is my first day playing War of the Spark Standard. I did a whole bunch of sealeds earlier today, got a bunch of good cards. Most of the cards that I'm playing with today I opened, luckily, and other than that, I used some wild cards. I got some Ilhargs, you know. Let's see. So we have the sweet combo of Rhythm, Ilharg, Ghalta. So if we're playing against something like green or white weenie, something that's not going to disrupt our hand, this is actually a really good hand, especially because we go first. Ideally, it would be like 3 lands, Land of War Elf, into Rhythm, into Ilharg, and it's just nonsense. But I think we're going to keep this. Being on the play here is definitely helpful. I think basically if we draw any kind of cheap creature, any kind of interactive spell, that should be good. Ooh, white. Okay, that is exactly the color we want to see. Not only is it white, but it's... I don't even know what kind of white we're playing. And we got a 2-drop. A 2-drop that can actually fight through the Novice Knight. Oh man, if we could get freaking Ilharg into Ghalta on our first game of the day, that would be incredible. Okay, so we're playing against the kind of goofy Novice Knight. Okay, all right. No blocks. I think I should hold back Crawl Harpooner just in case our opponent does something silly and just like... Okay, that's fine. I think we block here, just try not to die before we can do really silly stuff. Well, we can double ride our Gruul Spellbreaker, so now we can block the Knight. Next turn, we have the potential to attack for 5, 6, 12. So yeah, it's a good chunk of 23 life right there. Not to mention, all of it is trampling. Come on, don't do something. All right, also fine. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, God. First game of the day. First game of the day. Look at that. Turn 5. What a silly turn of events. So our opponent... Okay, our opponent just accepted death. They accepted the swift defeat of the Boar God. Okay, well, so far so good. Huh. I like how we just have a dragon that's landed in the deck as our thumbnail. That's fine. That's fine. Skargan Hellkite is a pretty badass card, so it can be the mascot even if it's not part of the deck. All right, what do we got here? Well, we got turn war Llanowar. We could go turn 2 Rebel Belts. Attack for 1. It's not too exciting. Or just turn 2, turn 3. I'd say it's definitely a keep though. Not quite as high upside as our last hand, but it's definitely a solid hand. I think we just want to go Crawl Harpooner, maybe like offer the trade here. So now next turn we can attack with the Rebel Belt Rider and the Harpooner. So 6 power attacking. Alright, well I'm just going to attack with everything because even the Llanowar trades here. Rebel Riders is a pretty fun new card. It comes down early and does some damage, but when it comes down early, it's actually just a really good kind of blocker, kind of keeps your life total high. But then once you start attacking with your 6 power and even your 12 power Galtas, your 4 power Rekindling Phoenixes, it has a very good rate. And when it comes down late game, it has a lot of relevance. So I'm a pretty big fan of this card in this deck. Also, they just look a bunch of weird freaking crust punks from the 80s if they grew up in the Gruul territories. All right, so... let's see here. So we could Colossus our Llanowar Elf, attack with both. This would be a 5 power attacking. It wouldn't have trample, unfortunately, but this would. Let's just do that. Let's see. We could also just kind of clear the board up a little bit here. So we definitely want to start drawing some of our more powerful spells. Llanowar Elf is it's not going to cut it anymore. All right, our opponent letting their life total get very low. So let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana next turn with the elf. A Ravager Worm could be pretty good. We could just kind of eat one of their creatures and then bash in for 4. Galta is pretty bad draw right now.
Gods bless us in our righteous cause.
I love the dramatic music with the new Gideon. I think this is the first time I've seen new Gideon played. It seems like a pretty good...
I believe in you, friend.
What'd they give it? Vigilance? Lifelink. Okay, makes sense. I had a Gideon in one of my sealed pools recently, and it was bonkers. I guess there's probably an argument that haste is what I wanted, but he's gonna keep giving stuff lifelink. I don't have. I guess it doesn't matter where I attack. They're just gonna chump block. I'm gonna go with both again though. Kind of all we want to do now is keep as many chump blockers as we can off the board. So they can easily bash in for 4 here with Gideon being indestructible. One good thing he can't give himself the lifelink or the or whatever else he can do to stuff. So I'm sure he'll attack in with Gideon now. Probably keep back 1 or 2 of these. Come on, opponent. Benalis Marshall's a pretty good draw. Come on. Come on, deck. Give me something good. Give me something good. That is one thing this deck does kind of lack, is just kind of card advantage. Just, we're not playing... I guess the big Domri is kind of our only... card advantage, and even then it's kind of hit or miss. Oh, am I dumb? Yes. Okay, well, I am bad at counting. Oh, it's late here, and I have a baby that keeps me from sleeping. Pardon my poor plays. Like we always say, we love Magic, but we never said we were good at it. All right, so I guess we don't want to keep hands kind of like that. Like, we want some kind of payoff in our hand. What do we got here? Turn 2 ramp into turn 3 Phoenix, turn 4. I think this is definitely better. At least with the Phoenix, we have like a recursive, powerful threat, especially if we're playing against mono blue right now. All right, so they have 2. So there's a small chance they could be running Essence Capture, in which case getting our Phoenix countered right away would be kind of a bummer. So maybe let's just run this out. I will care less about this getting countered. Okay. So still might have Essence Capture. Definitely have something, whether it be an Opt or Dive Down or something. Ooh. Okay. Not mono blue. Alright, well. 1 blue mana. Technically 1 and a colorless. So probably playing against Drakes here. Maybe some kind of wizard deck. Our opponent could be playing the new Izzet Ral Zarek Infinite Combo Burn deck, which seems pretty cool. Okay, now we're just playing against Phoenix here. Definitely not too concerned about Phoenix. Let's see, so we're going to attack for 10, 14, they can block a total of 6 of that if they block with everything. Definitely getting in there, though. Definitely getting in there. Okay, so these trade, but this comes back. This is just dying. He doesn't have shock mana up yet. I think I actually just want to keep my Phoenix alive here, just in case after it dies they have mana to shock it. So now we're still in a pretty good spot. They have plenty of mana, they have plenty of spells. I'm sure they're going to get their Phoenixes back. But they're definitely on their back foot. They're going to have to play very defensively. We have a lot of very live draws, especially because we've already drawn so many lands. Something like a Gruul Spellbreaker. Okay, so yeah, they had the shock. So good thing I kept my Phoenix around. Okay, so I did burn a ton of spells just to get my board clear and their Phoenix is back. And that's a terrible draw. I don't know why you would double block here. There's literally no value in that. I guess if I had another Collision Colossus. Even then, I don't think that would have changed anything. Now they're just making it harder for themselves. Okay, they've already used 2 shocks. They haven't played any cards from War of the Spark, so I'm not even sure if they're running something like Rel's Outburst or that weird Chandra spell that I doubt anybody's going to play. It is 1. They could even... What does this do? Interesting. Man, they just have all the shocks, huh? Come on, not land. Oh my god. Yep, they're running the combo.
For raw power, hurricanes beat dragons, no question.
Well, I mean, worst case, we lose to a really cool new combo. So, you get to see some cool stuff. I didn't even realize our opponent's name is just Fire. It's a pretty solid name. Definitely not the situation you want to play God Eternal Ronus, but it's not bad. Not bad. So they already ran out a couple shocks.
You must be accompanied by a parent or guardian to ride the lightning.
1 expansion. Okay, so minus a counter spell, 9 they block 6. I think we'll be okay if they don't have a counter spell. I guess an expansion would also keep me from winning here. Because then they would have 6 toughness. Oh no, I don't think that would do anything either. Nope. Well, that's pretty close. I was half expecting to get comboed out there. They had one of the pieces. All they needed was basically another expansion explosion and another cheap spell, and you play, say, like an opt. You expansion the opt, and then you expansion the expansion, kind of causing a copy loop, and then Ral just basically pings you to death. Okay, so this hand has all payoff but no way to cast it, so we're definitely going to mulligan that. Gross. Mediocre. I'm going to keep this. I guess I'll keep the piggy on top, just in case. So I guess, you know, for multi-5, at least got some ramp. Blue-whites. Alright, well. Might be playing against Esper here. Hopefully we're playing against some new spicy brew. At least we can lose to something cool. Nope, looks like Esper. Discovery. Maybe it's one of the Hero of Precinct 1 decks. That'd be more interesting deck to play against. I think our current build is pretty weak to the traditional Esper decks. I think I just want to start getting my damage in. Something like Cry the Carnarium's not going to be able to kill the Spellbreaker. I'm sure they have Mortifies or something else in their deck, though. But boy, I sure would like to get me a Galta into play for free again. Guess I can say goodbye. Just see you later. Bye-bye. Although, I mean, I'm still 2 mana away from this, so, I mean, yeah, that is the smarter play. This is the... I hope that doesn't get to this play. Alright, so... Just keep bashing in. We can get our opponent low enough. I mean, having a Banefire as a backup plan is never a bad thing. I think we just want to get our opponent as low as possible. Get them kind of in Banefire range. Well, it doesn't help us at all. Yeah, back-to-back boar. Not the ideal draws. Land would definitely be nice. 3-mana Domri wouldn't be the worst. Still kind of ramps us, gives us some value. Another Spellbreaker wouldn't be the worst either. Gross. I think our window of winning is slowly slipping away. Basically, everything our opponent has in their graveyard is gas. Alright, well, sometimes you multi-5. Sometimes you lose. We would not be named multi-5 if we didn't do that. But let's see. Let's just get 2 more wins. Get our entry back. Think about what we could do to kind of make this deck a little bit more tuned for best of 1. Maybe... So this isn't running a full 4 Spellbreaker. Maybe that's what we need to do. This is a pretty good hand, though. We can go turn 2, play Domri, plus Domri, play Llanowar, or scratch all of that because our Llanowar's going to die. But the chance was there. The chance was definitely there. That feels good. A turn 2 when you have a Planeswalker and 2 Llanowar Elves out already. So here, unfortunately, I think we just need to get rid of the little Frenzy Boy there. Don't want to let the Steamkin get out of hand. Yep, that's fine. So, at least our opponent is focusing on our creatures more than our board. We also can start playing these Rubble Belt Raiders, which... these block very well. I think we probably want to get the blocker out before we start doing fancy rhythm stuff. Domri is just going to die if I play it. I think we just get a blocker out now. If it lives next turn, maybe we'll throw out the Rhythm of the Wild, get ready for a big boar turn. No blocks. So usually when our opponent does that, they're representing something like a Wizard Lightning or a Lightning Strike in hand. Didn't want to fall into that trap. I think we just want to play another blocker here. So I'm definitely going to block here. They can kill either of these with any burn spell, but again, every burn spell that they use on my creatures is a burn spell they're not using to my face. So 1, 2, 3, 4 burn spells, none of which hit my face. Okay. So I'm kind of going to kamikaze this Domri. I'm just going to minus it. Hope we hit a couple creatures. If not, that'll be a huge bummer, but we got to get some creatures in hand. That's pretty bad. But, yeah, what are you going to do? So an Experimental Frenzy would be pretty brutal right now. Next turn we could Rhythm of the Wild into a Llanowar Elf and have a 2/2 at least. Oh, god damn it. That's brutal. So let's go. Let's go Domri into Paradise Druid. Paradise Druid has hexproof, so a Chain Whirler would be brutal, but at least I can block. Okay, yep. Or we could just get burnt out. Great. Double Steamkin. Good game, opponent. Playing Last Standards red deck. Wharp, wharp. Well, unfortunately, didn't put up the results we were looking for, but we did get to see kind of the silly stuff this deck can do. I mean, turn 5, we had a friggin' Ghalta, Ilharg, and a Spellbreaker, was it? But Yeah, I wonder what kind of... So, quick thoughts here, just what I think could change in the deck. I think Banefire is kind of meh. I think maybe Rhythm. I feel like we definitely want more Spellbreakers. That's just such a good card. So maybe this is it. Just go down Banefire. Getting rid of the Banefire kind of gets rid of our reach, which is a bummer. Maybe a deck like this wants to run, I don't know, just a couple Lightning Strikes over... I'm not even sure. I feel like a deck like this is kind of all in on creatures. You just kind of... You know what you want, and if you don't get it, you don't get it. So let's, nope, that's the wrong deck. Let's play one quick rank game. Let's see if adding the additional Spellbreakers adds anything to this deck. Anybody watching, if you have any recommendations, kind of things to add to this, ways to tweak it, make it a little better, a little tighter, let me know. I'm down to try. I don't have infinite wildcards, but I will definitely waste them. So let me know. I think that's a little too slow right now. Got a turn 2 Druid into a turn 3 Spellbreaker. It's not the worst. Playing against... Kind of could be a whole bunch of things at this point. Okay, Naya. Ooh, I know what they're doing. I think we have to trade here. They're playing the Feather deck. It's basically Naya Heroic. This card kind of goes nuts once you start Defiant striking it and all that good stuff. Yep, there it is, Feather. Okay, well, no attacks. Still needs 7 mana to cast Galta. So this deck can kind of go off very quickly. I think our best hope is to get our Galta out pretty quick.
I march into battle as your champion. Just I believe in you.
Okay, 3 damage in the air is fine. That's a pretty good sequence there. No attacks yet. Next turn we can attack with Galta in this Spellbreaker for sure. Gideon is a little too small now to exile. I'm trying to think of what this deck could be playing that could potentially kill our Galta. It's the Justice Strike.
Your light will cleave the darkness.
It's a 4/4, 3/4, 2/1. Could they give it... let me think here what they could possibly do. Use all... I don't think I can... Let's just do this. I don't mind killing off one Spellbreaker. I don't want to just lose to a bunch of pump spells here. Okay, so let's see here. We can attack for 12, 16, 19, 21. Can they block 4 of that? Yes. Oh. I think we just got there. I think we just barely got there. All right, so, I mean, seems like adding those extra Gruul Spellbreakers are pretty good there. As you can see, I did not play much ranked ladder this month. Last month, I got literally 1 win away from Mythic, and then I went on a 9-game losing streak, and I was like, well, I don't have the time to grind all day and all night, so I guess that's what it is. Let's try one more. Let's see how it does. So that feather deck seems pretty rad. I definitely want to build it over time. I'm in no rush. I don't plan on burning all my wild cards on it, but if I can accrue it doing drafts and stuff, definitely going to put that together. Big fan of the kind of all-in decks. I think this is a pretty good keep. Turn 2, Harpooner to turn 3, Spellbreaker or Raiders. Definitely feeling good about adding the extra Spellbreakers. Card is just so good. Okay, so we could attack. So this would essentially be the same thing. Or actually, this would actually be better than the Spellbreaker this turn. This way, next turn, we can kind of assess the situation if we want to get a +1/+1 counter or something else. That's fine. We got backup. Ooh, baby. That is pretty good. Let's go +1/+1 counter. Makes our Raiders bigger. Or Rioters, not Raiders. So next turn, depending on what happens, we could... So we can collision... Or not collision. Colossus, what do we want to do? Let's just go Phoenix. That's a safer play. Just keep bashing in. So you can see Robel Raiders is just a whole lot of value. It is kind of a non-bow with God Eternal Ronus as well as Galta because it doesn't have a power to kind of affect either of their abilities, but once you have things like this in play, it does a lot of work. So we're looking like we're probably going to just continue to beat down anyway, but I'd really like to get a God Eternal out there. Really like it. Guess it's not going to happen. Now, if our opponent wants to live, this is actually the card they should have taken because now I can't lose. But I guess they didn't want to. They didn't want to lose to the god. All right, well, this deck is definitely working pretty well as just a straight-up Gruul beatdown deck now. Not the, haven't got the fun pig combo, but I feel pretty good about this. If you guys have any ideas for how to change it, maybe a good sideboard for best 2 out of 3, let me know. This is kind of just something I tossed in there briefly. No real thought behind it. I think the new Vivian would be a pretty good addition for the control matchup to go along with Cindervines and stuff. Thrashing Pteranodon, maybe some other big stuff to get pigged in there would be fun. Anything you have in mind, let me know. This was a pretty fun game. You got to see some Galta off the pig action right away. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, like, subscribe, leave some comments, and yeah, this was Rob with Multi5. See you later.